in America.
Many years ago, people would ask the question, are anime characters white or Caucasian? The answer is yes and no. It depends if the series in question takes place in a real setting or a fictional location, because that will determine a person's ethnic background. In the obscure Shonen Jump series Jungle King Tarchan, the story is set in Africa, and there's only one Japanese character in that show, and she's half American. If you've explored enough anime, you'll notice some are heavily westernized or directly lift their material from existing movies. There's actually a good amount of cop-themed anime such as Dominion Tank Police, Angel Cop, and the infamous Mad Bull 34.
She's frozen up and she won't let go of me.
She'll thaw out if you stick your finger up her ass.
What?
However, most American characters in anime tend to be an exaggerated stereotype. They're not offensive, but many lack appeal or come off as very comical. For this list, I tried my best to find characters people will hopefully find interesting. It's also possible to make this a yearly event given the number of candidates I found. As a note of warning, I originally uploaded this video in 2016 and had to fix it. There will be some editor notes on screen for time-sensitive material. This also means my voice will sound different for I was 25 at the time. Without further delay, Yo Joe! Here's a superhero anime people have never heard of. It doesn't have an English dub, but you should watch it anyways. Stan Lee's Hero Man, featuring Joey Jones and Hero Man. To turn your toy into a superhero, just add water? No, just add lightning! An instant superhero! Similar to movies like The Iron Giant or Big Hero 6, the story is about the bond of these two characters fighting against an alien invasion known as the Skrug. Joey has super speed, while Hero Man has super brawn. Joey Jones is a likable kid who learns the role of a hero by looking at his dad as an example. Throughout the entire show, you can see Joey develop maturity, becoming a full-fledged American superhero. By the way, this anime is so American that it takes place in America. Wow. Hero Man is a great superhero anime, and if you want to learn more about it, watch my ongoing list of top 50 superhero anime.
Allow me the pleasure of introducing you to Blade, Laser, Blazer. I believe you've met my fitness consigliere, Michelle.
Number 9, Michelle K. Davis from Terraformars. Now, this is an example of an American character that isn't in your face about being American. Her father, Donatello K. Davis, worked for UNASA, which is the United Nations version of NASA or something like that, I really don't know. Basically, Donatello went on a Mars expedition, which led to a conflict with these mutant cockroaches known as Terraformars, like the title! To battle these manly roaches, those who work in UNASA undergo surgery, which allows them to transform into bug or animal hybrids. Learning this secret, Michelle participates in the Annex 1 mission. Michelle has the abilities of two types of ants, being the Paroponera clavata, aka bullet ant, along with the Caponoto saundersi, which can commit suicide by exploding, along with spreading sticky chemicals. What this means in the world of Terraformars, that Michelle has the ability of a blast ant capable of making men explode. Yeah. Oh, it's that kind of explosion. I thought it was the other thing.
Well, still very yummy.
So for 26 episodes and counting, Michelle has managed to show her womanly status by fighting for her father's honor. This tough woman is all work and no play, especially when a certain Terraformer really pisses her off. She's easily a fan favorite within the Terraformer fanbase, which I think is mostly popular in Mexico for some reason. Maybe it's because of these two. Michelle is also one of the few women of the series that focuses specifically on physical combat. This might be a coincidence, but Michelle whoops Terraformer asses in a style reminiscent of Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star.
Okay.
As of late 2016, the manga hasn't finished yet, but you can support the series by purchasing the English volumes by Viz Media. I'm still waiting for an English dub, and I hope it comes out soon. I haven't read much of the manga, but I guarantee Michelle has been a likable character who continues to entertain me with her womanliness. Also, she's fucking hot, with sexy lips and an E-cup bust! Okay, I'm gonna get a little naughty here by, showing you a suggestive picture. She's basically about to take a shower, but what makes the image surprising is how buff she actually is. Her muscles are on par with Noi from Dorohedoro. And you know something hot's gonna go down with the girls are looking at a woman's muscles. So, here's the pic. God bless America. Number 8, Frankie, aka Cuddy Flam.
That's Frankie!
According to the author Ichiro Oda, this character is supposed to be based on America. Frankie is a cyborg, but he is so American that he powers up by drinking cola. Further adding to his Americanized image, Frankie debuts in a costume bearing stars and stripes. Even his character design is undeniably based on Jim Carrey's performance in Ace Ventura, the Pet Detective.
Alrighty then.
And by looking at his arms, you can see a resemblance to Popeye the Sailor. And if those clips weren't enough to convince you that he's an American, then what does this scene remind you of? Frankie debuts as an asshole in the CP9 arc of One Piece, but as the story progresses, you start to learn more about the guy, and he's not a bad person. As a boy, Frankie would love to create battleships, eventually learning the responsibility of being a shipwright by the fishman Tom, who taught Frankie the meaning of gusto! When Frankie turned 34, he joined the Straw Hat Pirates to rescue Nico Robin, but would also create their new ship, the Thousand Sunny. Being part of the crew, Frankie assists them with ship maintenance and participates in battles with very outrageous results, such as seen in Thriller Bark with creating instant stairs and wielding giant nunchucks. Manly! His charm comes from his passion for just about anything, as he easily bursts into tears upon hearing sad tales or good deeds. Once arriving in the new world, Frankie becomes more of a cyborg, especially when he pilots the super robot known as Frankie Shogun! Sadly, as much as I like the guy, he hardly does anything. But thankfully, the Dressrosa arc finally made him more active with his fight with Senor Pink. Manly! One Piece is obviously available for home video and streaming. I don't want to give too much of his past away, as I plan to talk about Frankie in other videos, so let's settle for this clip and move on to number 7. This is a question for ladies who are married or are living with their boyfriend. Question: how do you wake up your hubby or bae in the morning? Do you taser them? Well, if that doesn't work, you can always try this. Number 7 goes to a pair being Bean Bandit and Rally Vincent from Riding Bean and Gunsmith Cats. Okay, this is going to require a quick history lesson. Originally, there was plans for a Riding Bean anime starring Bean and Rally, but some disagreement happened with the creator and some other guy and the project got cancelled. Years later, the creator, Kenichi Sonoda, invented Gunsmith Cats, which eventually included Bean Bandit in its manga series. Then, in 1995, Gunsmith Cats received a 3-episode OVA adaptation. So, what this means is Rally Vincent went from a blonde, white-skinned American woman into a black-haired, dark-skinned Native American woman. So despite only having 2 different OVA adaptations, both series were supposed to be connected in the most Americanized anime ever. As I said earlier, there's a lot of cop-themed anime, but of all of those series, Gunsmith Cats is the one that heavily deserves a complete anime adaptation. With the exception of Sonoda's iconic girly designs and Mini-May, there really isn't anything anime about it. Rally Vincent is a bounty hunter who owns a gun shop in the city of Chicago. Meanwhile, Bean Bandit works as a getaway driver or delivers certain packages. Regardless of what version you're watching, these two are good people that follow certain codes which makes for great entertainment, such as beautifully animated car chases and shootouts. It's the perfect buddy cop anime that could have existed, and maybe one day it will become a reality. You can support this series by purchasing the manga Gunsmith Cats and its sequel Gunsmith Cats Burst. The Riding Bean OVA is available for purchase, but sadly Gunsmith Cats is currently an out-of-print title. I'm aware I hardly spoke of these characters' personality and traits, but that's what the OVAs are for. You can get a better idea of these characters by experiencing them for yourself. One is manly, and the other is womanly, and that's good enough for me.
Your support will be the key to see him back in his wild new cases and adventures.
Number 6 is Victor Freeman from the manga Blaster Knuckle. Once again, this manga is not licensed, meaning you would have to look on websites to read fan translations. Many people have given a very accurate description to the character Victor Freeman, which is a nickname being Black Guts. And it's so true! I'm sure you already heard of the seinen manga and anime series Berserk starring Guts the Black Swordsman. He's not black. Guts is a European who wears black. It's a nickname. On the other hand, Victor is a black man with many similarities to Guts. For starters, both series were originally published in Young Animal magazine, a seinen comic, and according to this one comment, both authors were friends. True or not, there's definitely a lot of compare and contrast going on here. Berserk is a dark fantasy where Gunt hunts down demons known as apostles who are disguised as humans. Meanwhile, Blaster Knuckle is a dark western, where Victor hunts down demons who disguise themselves as humans. Victor Freeman is skilled in boxing, and can kill demons with his signature Blaster Knuckle, like the title, which fires simultaneous shots during a punch. This is a man with a troubled past, leading him to a path of personal revenge. But what makes this manga really stand out is the time period and the antagonist. Victor Freeman is fighting white demons who are disguised as the Ku Klux Klan. Holy shit! This African-American man is hunting down the KKK. Unfortunately, this manga is very short, being 3 volumes, but doesn't have a solid ending and nothing else exists. Once again, this is another series that really needs an anime adaptation. Number 5. Funny Valentine from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7 Steel Ball Run. This man is the President of the United States and is the antagonist of the story. His actions slightly border between good and evil. Let me put it this way. He definitely has an arrogant ambition and wanted to violate a 14-year-old girl in hopes of giving him a son, but he kind of cares for the well-being of the country. But at the end of the day, he's still a fucking evil villain. In short, he really believes in power, or manifest destiny, and will stop at nothing for achieving that goal. What set this ambitious mindset was when he was still a soldier who got lost in the desert. This man was caught and tortured by the enemy, but his saving grace was obtaining a corpse part, which gave him his stand power, along with scars surprisingly resembling the American flag. Seeing this as a sign from above, Valentine then goes into politics. After becoming president, Valentine sought to obtain the other corpse parts in the hopes of absolute dominance. Furthermore, he discovers that these corpse parts belong to Jesus Christ! So with all this going down, Funny Valentine sees himself chosen by God and Jesus himself to continue his selfish quest to make America better. While he's an absolute patriot to the red, white, and blue, this is a man who isn't exactly leader or husband material, as he will kill anyone who gets in his path. He is the definition of corrupt. Also, this man is fucking hard to kill, as with his stand, allows Funny Valentine to travel through parallel universes. The manga Steel Ball Run has yet to be licensed, but it's only a matter of time until Viz Media gets their hands on it. Right now, parts 1, 2, and 3 are available, and part 4 recently got licensed. The JoJo hype train will never stop, especially when I keep mentioning JoJo characters in these top anime lists. Funny Valentine is definitely a bad person, but is without a shred of doubt a very American anime character.
Fear not, citizens! Hope has arrived, because I am here!
Number 4 goes to the superhero All Might from My Hero Academia. Okay, so this man is Japanese, but come on, he is so Americanized. For fuck's sake, in episodes 1 and 2, you can see the American flag right behind him. His costume is the American flag! I mean, you can have an Americanized Japanese character. Just look at the cast of Lupin III. With the exception of the samurai Goemon Ishikawa the 13th and their names, you wouldn't think these characters are actually Japanese. So anyways, All Might is the world's most renowned superhero resembling Superman! He can't fly, but he specializes in physical strength, with all his attacks being named after cities and states from America, such as Detroit Smash, Texas Smash, and even United States of Smash! And if it wasn't obvious enough, his personality and superhero identity is undeniably stylized from Golden Age comics. Or is it Silver Age? I keep getting the two confused.
Hey, look! Is he wearing his Silver Age costume?
Silver Age it is! Take one look at All Might and compare him to Japanese superheroes, and you can tell that he has more in common with the heroes of Batman the Brave and the Bold. I mean, superheroes are a very American thing, and I'm not just referring to the flashy costumes and catchphrases, but it's gotten to the point where every year, there's a new superhero movie going to theaters. Hell, even the superheroes can't stop with their obvious in-your-face American symbolism. It's really subtle.
Double bacon cheeseburger with fries.
When I'm fighting for the American way, this is what I'm really talking about.
Subtle! This is truly the age of superheroes, and My Hero Academia appeared just at the right time. With Season 2 on the way, now we have something good to look forward to, especially with All Might and his upbeat personality, proving that sometimes an encouraging smile is cooler than something that is trying to be dark and edgy. Oh, the edge is on! My Hero Academia has currently 13 episodes for streaming, but it has been greenlit for a second season, and you can purchase the manga, which the English version are stylized to resemble American comic book issues.
Welcome. Izuku, you have made it. You're now part of the Hero Academia.
You were not my much!
Number 3, Jay from Sakigake Otokujuku. Now we're going to a very obscure Shonen Jump series, which you might have heard through its live-action movie, its appearance in J-Star's Victory Versus, or its PS3 game. Sakigake Otokujuku is a long-running battle shonen from the 1980s, having prequels, spin-offs, and many sequels, with Goku Otokujuku still running today in 2016. Like a lot of things in this list, Otokujuku is not licensed, or you're gonna have to browse the internet. But why do I want this series licensed, or what's it even about? Otokujuku is a private school for manly high school dropouts, which purpose is to refine manhood, teaching their students to become the world's next leaders in politics, culture, and business. Jay is part of the main cast of characters, who is originally an American transfer student who came from, get this, the Super Police Academy. Yes, that very same academy. And if that wasn't American enough, listen to his theme song that sounds very familiar, like a certain team beginning with the letter A. After losing to the lead character Tsurugi Momotaro in a Picarist match, and inspired by the spirit of Yamato, Jay becomes a student in Otokujuku. Jay wants to brush up his manhood by assisting his manly classmates in combat. Out of the big 20-plus roster of Otokujuku main characters, Jay has managed to persist in multiple appearances, all while sticking to his boxing fighting style. Many martial artists and assassins often mocks Jay's boxing, seeing it unfitting for combat. Well, Jay proves them wrong by angrily punching the shit out of them, but it also helps that the series isn't realistic at all. The Otokujuku series is inspired by Fist of the North Star, meaning most characters or battles are exaggeratedly manly, such as the mentioned Picarist match. Jay typically fights with knuckle dusters against armed opponents, so with every fight the stakes are raised higher and higher, such as chapters 274, where he fights an electrocuted ring that gradually gets smaller with every second, or in chapter 148, where he punches snakes.
So you play as some dude who has some serious balls because he punches snakes right in the fucking face.
Manly! But what makes Jay an interesting character is his simple yet expressive masculinity. He tends to be stoic, but always wishes to improve himself, thus accepting any challenge. The best example occurs in chapter 194, in his fight against Hakuho, who, as a form of mockery, creates a ring, and they battle via boxing rules. Throughout the fight, Jay is struggling against his playful adversary while constantly taking insults about the boxing lifestyle. As a last resort, Jay tells the story of a boxer named King Battler, who has won 157 matches via knockout. However, this boxer met his end when a fire occurred in a hotel. King Battler and his son were caught in the flames, but wishing to save his son, King unleashes a powerful punch so fast that it broke the sound barrier, allowing his son to escape freely. King Battler's final punch was called the Spiral Hurricane Punch, and Battler's son followed his father's footsteps and became a boxer. Jay then gets ready to unleash his newest punch, but reveals that his name, Jay, is short for Junior, as in King Battler Jr.
Thanks, Daddy.
But the battle truly ends when Hakuho bows and apologizes for insulting boxing and Jay's father, in which Jay responds, "It was a good match, manly!" Since then, Jay has continued to battle for his manly friends and for the honor of his father. Years later, Jay graduates from Otokujuku and becomes part of the United States Armed Forces, thus being a respectable interpretation of a patriotic American character in a manly Japanese word known as Sakigake Otokujuku. Please, somebody license this series. It's just as ridiculous as JoJo and Kinnikuman. Number 2 is Cobra, aka Johnson, aka Joe Gillian from Space Adventure Cobra, Cobra the animation, and whenever the new anime comes out. Hey, we got Tiger Man's double around the corner, so what about Cobra, the return of Joe Gillian? This man is an American space pirate who's ironically very popular in France. You see, his design is modeled after the French actor Jean-Paul Belmondo, and Cobra's personality seems to resemble that actor's performance. Even the author Buichi Teresawa is shocked how Cobra was better received in France, despite being tailored to an American audience. With the current age of Star Wars and Star Trek, Cobra would fit right at home on American soil. I personally compare him to Han Solo, but he's very different in the overall big picture. One example is Cobra carrying a cycle gun, utilizing his mental energy to take out most adversaries in one shot. He also carries this charming charisma that needs to be experienced for yourself. As anyone I talk to who likes Cobra says, he's one of my favorite characters, but I don't know why. It's not that he's bad, but excels in being simple, aka a manly man. As said earlier, Cobra is a space pirate who sometimes works with the Galactic Patrol to take down alien criminals who are part of the Space Mafia Guild. Other times he just goes on adventures either for treasure, to repay a friend's favor, or to pick up some blonde honeys. Regardless of the reason, Cobra just makes things exciting, such as seeing the unique sci-fi clothing inspired by Barbarella, or encountering the strange aliens and cyborgs, or maybe it's just the hard girls for their finest fuck. Cobra is just a very likable fellow, despite not being very deep or tragic, and I guess this proves a point that you don't need a sad backstory to be a functional or fun character. Looking back, Cobra probably has more in common with the tone of Guardians of the Galaxy, for he's a fun action hero capable of slipping into any role, such as Suave Dude, Comical Goof, Angry Avenger, or just chill. In fact, in the original American pilot, Cobra was going to be interpreted not as a space pirate, but as a space hero, with the whole Chosen One backstory, leading a resistance against the Space Mafia Guild, more closer in line to Star Wars Episode 4.
The Dark Side clan has become too sure of itself. Now it is time for the resistance to regroup and begin the battle again. We begin with you, Cobra.
So we probably would have gotten Space Hero Cobra. Even the Spanish version changed Cobra's title into a secret agent rather than being a space pirate. Cobra the animation and Space Adventure Cobra are all available for purchase. Sadly, the movie and the pilot are the only English dub material. The lack of an English dub is a real shame, for Cobra can easily be this generation's Cowboy Bebop or Space Dandy. Hey, do you remember that crappy NES game? Those pink muscle toys, or the game Galactic Wrestling, or the anime Ultimate Muscle, which had a character named Terry the Kid, like Billy the Kid, but his name was changed to Terry the Grand Canyon? Do you remember? I remember. I remember. But don't get confused, I'm not here to talk about Terry. I'm here to talk about his father. Number 1, Terry Man from Kinnikuman, aka Muscle Man. Terry Man is a Superman wrestler who represents Texas. He has a ranch, a horse, a cowboy hat, and even a gun that kills kaijus in one shot. Manly! In the unlicensed series Kiniko Man, there are many superhero wrestlers who battle the forces of Satan known as the Devil Superman. I am not kidding about the satanic shit. It's really uncomfortable. The series is originally from 1979 and is still running today in 2016. And is currently in its 4th manga sequel. It's longer than One Piece! Terry Man is inspired by the American wrestler Terry Funk, most noticeably with the technique known as the spinning toe hold.
No mercy whatsoever, spinning toe hold, and really rips you in. Just like that, it's over.
Aside from the spinning toe hold and their home in Texas, that's really all they have in common, or at least to my limited wrestling knowledge. Being a Texan, most of Terry Man's attacks are centered on Texas/cowboy gimmick, such as the calf branding and the Texas Condor kick. In fact, Terry Man is so Texan that in the 6th Kiniko Man movie, he even meets the American president, Ronald Reagan. Texas! So you may have thought, what's with the focus on Texas and not so much on America as a whole? Well, Terry Man's emphasis on Texas may be due to creative freedom. Other American superheroes such as Special Man and Pentagon don't have much in visual presentation, other than being American. So I assume the authors Yute Tamago thought it'd be more fun to have a cowboy as the main American appeal. Then again, we could have gone with this guy who was just a hamburger and fries. Oh, stereotype! Terry Man is Kiniko Man's best friend, but just because he's really close to the main character doesn't mean that life's all hunky-dory. Originally, Terry Man was a superhero who charged people money for saving their lives. After being an asshole to a kid, Kiniko Man gives him a good slug to the face, making Terry Man realize the error of his ways. To honor that friendship, Terry Man takes a bullet for Kiniko Man, but being a Superman, he resulted in only slight injuries and he lived happily ever after. Nah. I'm lying. He got his leg amputated. What the fuck? Out of all the characters in Kiniko Man, Terry Man probably gets the most development in the Part 1 series. Terry Man does get a prosthetic leg and continues to be a superhero, inspiring a boy to walk and even getting a fiancé, but his life would slowly go a bit downhill. In the 21st Superman Olympics, Terry Man doesn't even make it past the preliminaries. In a contest where heroes would throw bullet trains, in which those who threw the train the farthest would enter the Olympics, Terry Man threw his right to enter as he stopped the train to rescue a puppy's life. Terry Manly! Missing his chance in the Olympics, Terry Man participates in the Dream Tag, where he lashes out his jealousy to Kiniko Man. Kiniko Man was the most crappy superhero you can ever meet, but as the years went on, Kiniko Man became a popular hero, while Terry Man just had crappy luck. Putting their friendship aside, Terry Man wishes to battle against Kiniko Man, and nearly turns into a villain named New Terry Man. And what's so new about him? Terry Man fights dirty! But along the way, he has a change of heart upon meeting Kiniko Man's teacher, Kamehame, aka Kiniko Man Great! After rescuing Terry Man and Geronimo, Kamehame receives heavy injuries that he's in no shape to fight in this tournament, and Terry Man had already lost in an earlier match. To restore their friendship, Kamehame suggests Terry Man to put on his mask and become Kiniko Man's partner, Kiniko Man Great. Terry Man regrets the things he's done to his friends, so to repent for foul actions, Terry Man partners up with Kiniko Man in secret as they battle the Devil Superman and the Perfect Superman. Their struggles were deadly, and Terry Man himself nearly died by the hands of Neptune Man and Big the Budo. But even with an unconscious body, he saves Kiniko Man's life, showing his manly friendship! In Kiniko Man 2011, Terry Man finally has his fair match with Kiniko Man, and they have become best friends for over 30 years. Yeah, manly friendship! It may sound like I'm overhyping this, but you have no idea how much I like Kiniko Man. There's over 100 volumes of material just waiting to be licensed. It's right there. It's just there. Hey, if something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure from the 80s and 90s can succeed, then why not a superhero wrestling series from the 80s and the 2000s? It's a real shame that only a few episodes have been translated, and fans would have to search high and low for Kiniko Man chapters, but I really wish this series was licensed, for it deserves it. It's the age of superheroes, people! It's superhero wrestlers! What are you missing out on? If you're curious about Kiniko Man and Ultimate Muscle, Then browse on the Kinnikuman Tributes playlist where you can see my reviews and my favorite characters. There's a lot more to Terry Man as the series has a long run of nearly 40 years worth of manga. The same can be said for other characters, and once you experience Kinnikuman for yourself, then you may see why I think Terry Man is the #1 American anime character.
世の中には勝利よりももっと誇るに値する敗北もある。立派だったぞ、舞さん。